Oh, hi everyone. Just this thing about a logo or headed paper or branding. I was at Vegan Camp Out, and there's this brand, I suppose, called Anonymous for the Voiceless. And I thought that it does just as well for people as it does for animals, because so many people don't have a voice. And I really like the idea, once there is a brand, it can have credibility or not credibility. Once there's a logo, it can be kind of cool or it could be represent someone else by mistake. And I just thought we're at the stage where this is the principle of the matter. We don't need any sort of a brand. This is just me on behalf of all living beings, me on behalf of all people, me on behalf of the co-trustees. And it can be anybody, but it's still building this body of work because we're at the stage where the bank system that was in place really has ended any legal or legislation founding it had with the Kescovy Act and with the contracts with Rothschilds, etc. They are actually all over. The Jubilee is coming to an end. These are things that are beyond us asking about some legacies that may be or maybe not available to us. These are just things that have to happen. You know, the Green Hilton Memorial Agreement, the Bretton Woods Agreement, the Gesara. That we have proven time and again that the governments and the guards and the police and the banks and the courts are 100% perpetuating a contract now void, because now bankrupt, because now expired. In every single front, we don't have to put up with this anymore. We don't have to put up with these incorporated entities. There's not one insect here. There's not been rain here for months of any sufficient amount, and yet we've somehow let the government approve weather modification here, and it was all in the papers and everything that was allowed, and now it goes back to being our fault and our climate change inevitable when one move, any one of these moves, not one move, and we don't have to be united in it under one banner. We're just people saying we're not going to comply with you sadists, and you incorporated profiteering little rackets that are coming up with, and dangerous rackets. I mean, this is, there's not going to be much food. There's already a huge pressure on the wildlife, and the wildfires, etc. And it's all down to contrived blocking of the people's authority. So I'd love it if it was just, I'm writing this as a woman or as a man, on behalf of people or on behalf of animals, all one and the same thing. We've got every principle on our side, every moral high ground, every point of law, every point of contract law, every point of patent law, every point of who created these ludicrous institutes in the first place, and therefore obviously need to have authority to dismantle them when they become dangerous. And they have become dangerous. So let's just keep writing, keep pointing out the absolute obvious, whichever part you're clear on, whichever agreement you feel should be the most powerful. Totally possible right now, because we've got everything on our side apart from a kind of a dying beast trying to throw their weight around still.